Hey, good evening, everybody. It's about 8:07 p.m. here in the wonderful city of DeLand, Florida. So I just want to talk to you for a few minutes about um, what's in your fruit. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Latif Muhammad, and thank you for joining in for another episode of King's Corner, where I'm your host. Um, so a little bit about me. I started this podcast about 2 years ago, and I just started it off wanting to talk to people about different aspects of business and getting them familiar on how to um, start a business. But it evolved, and I decided to take the King's Corner brand and turn it into a LLC. So I've been doing this over the past 2 years, and so we're just going to take it to the next level and see what happens, right? With LLC consulting, I talk to students who are uh, wanting to attend college, talking to individuals who may want to transition from one career to the next. And of course, you have business, help you grow your business in many different areas. So, a consultation on any of those areas, we can sit down and talk for about a half hour to an hour for free and see where I can help you out at, um, and take it from there. But today's podcast is really about what's inside your fruit, right? Do you have seeds, or are you having fruit that are seedless, right? So um, this is today's podcast, and so I just want to talk to you for a few minutes and pick your brain a little bit. Um, Again, I already introduced myself. My name is Latif Muhammad from King's Corner, and so this evening I want to talk about something simple but powerful. Okay, you may have heard of it before, you may have seen it before. It's a watermelon. And so you may be saying, now, what can a watermelon teach me about life, right? How can that help me out, right? But really, it's more than you think, to be honest with you. And so we see people every day on social media, and when they're on social media, you see them, on Instagram, you see them on Facebook, and you see them on TikTok, right? And so, what are they talking about? What are they doing? And so, you may even see these individuals in your own neighborhood, and sometimes people look at others and make assumptions. And so, the assumption is that they see a person doing well, and they think, hmm, why are they doing that? Right? Why are they speaking? Right? Why are they even building or attempting to build a business? Why are they even trying to get into line of being a lecturer or a teacher? And sometimes the most simple response can be, do I look like I need your money? I'm not trying to take what you have, so please stay out of my pockets. And that's what we say sometimes when we start talking, right? And the truth is, many people spend too much time focusing on somebody else's success instead of focusing on their own growth, right? We already know how it is. A person may have a new car, a person may have a new house, a person may have a new business. And from the outside, it may look like everything is together, right? We know people like that. But the problem can be you can't see what's going on the inside, right? You can't see the pain. You can't see the insecurity that they may have. You can't see the emptiness, right? And sometimes people buy things, you know, um, value on the outside because there's a void on the inside, and they're trying to fill an intentional problem with a external possession. And when that happens, emptiness remains, and it can produce envy. It can produce jealousy. It can produce bitterness. And ultimately, it can really honestly produce resentment. And so that's why some people spend their time trying to make others feel bad. That's why when some people, criticize each other, um, It makes them feel bad. And that's why people end up gossiping. And that's why some people attack each other's character because they are not fulfilled on the inside. So think about it. When you see, oh, better yet, when you feel good about yourself, don't you want others to feel good as well? Or when you're at peace, don't you want others to feel that same experience of peace? But when a person is miserable, they often try to spread that misery to everyone around them. And so, one of the things that helped me understand this principle was studying the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. So, those teachings, they really helped me understand that true success, it starts from within, right? Not with your clothes, um, not with your cars, not with your title, and not with your money. Okay, true success starts with your mind, right up here. Your character. It starts with certain disciplines that you have. Your purpose, right? Those are the things, right? And so now let's get into the analogy of a watermelon. Imagine that you walk into the grocery store and you buy a watermelon. It's nice and fresh. You pick up the watermelon and it looks so good, right? It's so green. It's so fresh and it's smooth, right? Everything about that watermelon says it's good. But here's the question: how do you really know? You don't really know until you take it home, right? You open it. Then the outside can look perfect while the inside tells a completely different story. And people are the same way, right? Some people look successful on the outside. Some people look confident on the outside. And some people, they look happy on the outside. But appearances definitely can be deceiving. They don't really know what's inside until life cuts them open. You understand what I mean? And so let's go a little deeper. Let's take it like this: a real watermelon contains seeds, right? And so these seeds, what do they represent? They represent life. These seeds represent growth. These seeds represents future production. And so without the seeds, there can be no reproduction. Without seeds, there can be no future harvest. Without seeds, there can be no continuation. Okay. Now think about people. Okay. Many people have the appearance of success, right? They have uh, the title, they have the followers, they have the recognition, right? They have the image, right? All of the things we see on these social media outlets. But do they have what's called substance? Do they have discipline? Do they have integrity? Do they have wisdom? And do they have purpose? Okay. And do they have character? Because having the symbol is not the same as having the substance, right? And so when we think about it, a watermelon may look uh, like a watermelon on the outside, but if it cannot produce anything, then something is missing. Then we go with that seed. Likewise, a person may look successful on the outside, but what are they producing? And they are producing. Are they producing growth? Are they producing leadership? Are they producing value? Are they helping others? Are they making their community a better place? You understand what I'm saying? Those are the questions that matter. Those are um, the things that happen. And so sooner or later, life cuts everybody open. It could be a financial challenge. It can be a health challenge. It can be a relationship challenge where it can cause a setback, a disappointment, and ultimately a difficult season for some. And when life cuts you open, what's inside becomes visible. That's when character shows up. That's when faith shows up. That's when discipline shows up. That's when resilience shows up. And that's when purpose shows up. So now, you never really truly know how strong you are until you've been tested. You never really know how patient you are until you've been challenged. And you never really know how faithful you are until you had to endure certain hardships. And trials reveal what's on the inside, right? So today, I'll leave you with one question. And that question is, are you spending more time working on your inside than you are on your inside? Because the world may be impressed by appearance, but life responds to substance, just like watermelon. What matters most is what's inside. Develop your character, develop your discipline, develop your faith, develop your purpose. Because when life cuts you open, what comes out will reveal who you are. Listen, my name is Latif Muhammad, and this is King's Corner. One last thing I want you to remember though, don't just look on the outside. Make sure you have seeds of purpose, character, and substance on the inside. Until next time, peace and blessings.